This episode is previously recorded. What's going on, Jack Sauce? Here we are, day 22 of the 2023 Bitter Pops Advent Calendar. As you are seeing this, we are currently on the road, driving to see family, so this was previously recorded, which is good for me because that means I got to have two Advent beers in one night. Happy Thursday to me. Let's get into 22. Let's see what's going on. I'm sure it's smooth sailing down the highway. We're heading up to the woods. Very little reception, so it's going to be interesting the next week. Kind of deconnecting, if you will. Very little Wi-Fi and cell service. It's going to be nice. I'm actually really looking forward to it. Spending a lot of times outdoors, hiking around through the woods. And of course, family, lots of food, and there will be beer. Oh yes, there will be beer. Day 22. Let's get this going. What are we doing today? We are doing Island of Misfit Beers. This is from Obscurity. Oh, cool. All right, I know these guys. The Yukon Cornelius Maple Amber Ale. Trying that again. Maple Amber Ale with unbelievable. Maple Amber Ale with holiday cheer. Doom. We did it. All right, and if you look at it, Obscurity Brewing out of Elburn. If you look at this can, it's a very cool can artwork. Very much so has to do with that. Maybe the Rudolph movie or whatever that was, the old claymation holiday movies, Christmas movies. I remember as a kid, I haven't seen in years, but it is very cool. I like that a lot. It is a maple amber ale, like I said, with holiday cheer. I had to say it again. It's proved that I can actually get it out in one try. Obscurity Brewing, they're actually kind of a cool brewery. I've really just kind of gotten to know about them over the last couple of years. Obscurity's in a place called Elburn, Illinois. Pretty far out west from Chicago, but actually growing up, I spent a lot of time there. I had friends there. Farming community, through and through. It was founded as a farming community. They grew grain, all sorts of grain. They grew barley, corn. Great place, actually, to put a brewery. Obviously, it's changed a little bit. It's still a farming community to this day, but not to the extent that it once was. But Obscurity is there, and they're paying homage to that background by using local products. In particular, Obscurity is really, really big into honey, particularly buckwheat honey. They use local beekeepers from the area that collect, the bees collect, obviously the pollen from the nectar from local wildflowers are in the area, and they make this beautiful buckwheat honey out of it. And they put it in a lot of their beers, but they also have a meadery and a cidery, and they put the buckwheat honey in there as well. So they play a lot with honey, and there's nothing wrong with that, man, because honey is truly one of the best things on the face of the planet. I use it all the time for Jack Sauce. Won't tell you where though. All right, so let's get into this thing. Maple Amber Ale. So obviously maple syrup in this. Probably instead of the honey. I don't see the two going hand in hand, but you never know. Amber Ale is pretty much as common in the American craft beer world as it gets. Not common in a bad way. It's just a very utilized style of ale because it is a pretty broad band. It's named from basically the colors that you're going to get. Traditionally using caramel malts, crystal malts, amber ales, kind of a byproduct, if you will, of old English ales, English bitter ales, whatnot, that were really the whole concept of an English bitter ale was, or English pale ale was the crystal malts that they used. Very specific town, Crystal, that grew the crystal malts. And seeing that used in American beers now is pretty cool. They tend to have very much so a malty characteristic. American amber ales now, because we are using American hops, and that's really what distinguishes it from the old English pale ale type beers. They're gonna get a lot more citrus, a lot more pine, things of that nature, as opposed to just a kind of a subtle bitter quality that English hops are gonna bring a little bit more. Less of the fruit forward is the citra and the tropical, or citrus and tropical we get out of American hops. Maple's gonna make a nice touch. Holiday cheer. I don't know if that means baking spices galore. We're about to see though. Amber obviously being the color. Isn't that like a 311 song? I think so. Amber is the color of something. I don't remember. But you tend to get that copper color to kind of a brown color, which we're definitely seeing here. Beautiful brown color. Use your air around the pour. A little too much going on with that head, but look at that. There is kind of a rust red, brick red. Really, brick red is a better way for this one. Very effervescent. And there is definitely maple syrup in this. And definitely kind of spices. There are baking spices galore coming through this. Kind of a malted milkshake. Okay, so like obviously malt, you know, there's a malty sweetness that is characteristic of American amber ales. But it almost has like a malted milkshake, like a chocolate malted milkshake going on the head, which is really, really intriguing. I guess now that's what I'm getting. Let's taste it. What a cool beer. There's a lot going on there. Holy cow. Okay, up front, more of that malted note, toasted grain galore. And that's, of course, coming from the caramel and the crystal hops that are known for those toasted qualities. The maple syrup, man. How do I describe that? How it's used in this. So it is up front, but it's not cloyingly sweet. You get the richness and you get the umami that is actually in a true maple syrup that comes forward. And then there's a very specific finish to maple syrup. I don't quite know how to say it, but the end of maple syrup always has this lingering finish, and you're getting so much of that out of this. There's definitely some weight to it, but then as that maple finish goes away, you go into this citrus, bitter, like citrus quality, which is indicative of the style. Sorry about that. Some people in this world were gifted with certain levels of intelligence that I just wasn't. Part of my intelligence is definitely not technology, nor apparently storage of said technology. Saving all these high-def videos apparently takes up a lot of memory space. So we cut that short. Where were we, though? We fixed it. We're back. We're going to finish this really, really fast. We're talking about the umami of the beer, which is really, really nice. Let's try this again. I'm all flustered now. It really does. You know, maple syrup has a kind of an umami quality to it. It's not just all sweetness. And then you go into this, as I said, the maple finish goes away. You get this beautiful citrus component to it, a little bitterness at the end, which really is the key. It balances it out so much. That bright citrus note balances out the cloyingly sweet, or keeps the beer from getting cloyingly sweet between the malts and the chocolate that kind of comes with that malt, as well as the maple syrup. And then you're also getting just a faint notes of baking spices. They're definitely there, and I think it's really interesting. You almost have to dig for them. But prominent, I mean, you're getting nutmeg, a little bit of cinnamon in there, almost a fruit cakey component to it. But again, it's not overpowering. It doesn't take over the beer in any way. It's just there, and it kind of balances it out. And then the citrus and the hint of bitterness at the end. It's a very well-made beer. Well, that's that. I really don't know what I said in the first take, but I kept going. I probably had like good 3 more minutes after we cut out of the initial one. And I think I said some really cool stuff. As a matter of fact, I know I said some really cool stuff that's now lost out there somewhere. Anyway, I'm on the road as this is going on, driving to go see family. I hope you get to see family, loved ones this holiday season. Next beer review will be in front of a wonderfully warm fire in a big old fireplace. That just makes me so happy. I love a fireplace. Have a good night, guys.